All right, thanks, Ben. So today's webinar on the measure equation, it is a DLL, so that means it's included with your standard installation. It's just not a part of that main list of different measurement types that you're used to seeing. So the measure equation itself just allows for more advanced equation-based measurements. So if you've ever come across anything that you didn't feel like you could fully capture with, say, just a point-based, point distance type of measure, then chances are you can cover it with the measure equation. Even though it is advanced, the examples today I will try and keep relatively simple just to make sure that they are easy to follow. But in my regular job, when I'm using this for more practical purposes, the measure equation comes in very handy, and I've had to do some pretty complex things with it. So it's actually probably been a while since I haven't used the measure equation in a model. First things first, we have to make sure that we're including it with our 3DCS model. That just means that we want to include the DLL. For the most part, I'm going to be using CATIA V5 today, but the instructions and everything that goes along with using the measure equation are going to be basically the same if you're using Creo, Multicad, or NX. So just first off, make sure you include the DLL, and we're going to be looking for this DCU_mesh_EQ.DLL. The default location is in this add-ins folder. Hopefully with your install, it'll default to this path. If not, you may have to talk to your IT or whoever installed 3DCS for you as to where exactly this folder is located. But this is included with all copies of 3DCS. So this is a measure. So to add a measure equation DLL, we're just going to select the user DLL type. So for most people, you're probably used to using these point distance types or circle interference. So just a few items down the list is user DLL. So you'll select that, click that add button, and then you'll be given the standard DLL dialog. To actually select the measure equation routine, you just want to go to your user routine and select DCS Mesh EQ as the measure equation routine. So just to show you that, so again, we're going to come over here, user DLL. Right now, I do not have any DLLs currently loaded. So I'm going to say add DLL. That'll open my default location, and then it is in this add-ins folder, and then I just want this DCU_mes_equate, or just EQ. Open that. That's now included in my library. So if I go to add a measurement, select the user DLL type, and now in my user routine, I have DCS Mesh EQ. So if you don't see this, check to see if your DLL is loaded, because chances are your DLL is not loaded if you're not seeing your routine there. Make sure you select this. If you have none, you'll get an error or warning, and it won't calculate correctly. So this is a common mistake. Even though I make this, I'm thinking user DLL, and I forget to set the user routine, so don't forget to set your user routine. So when you're creating your measure DLL, or sorry, I should say my measure equation, really what we're going to be doing is we're going to be writing out strings, and those strings are going to tell the software what value we actually want to calculate and present as an output. So to get to these strings, at the bottom of the user DLL dialog, there's a more button. After you click more, if you're in V5, it's going to open up a separate dialog. which will have a strings button in it. If you're in V5, or sorry, Creo, NX, or Multicad, the More button will just expand your dialog, and then you'll have a string button visible from there. But once we get to the strings is where we'll start adding the actual values that we want to manipulate with the measure equation.